So this is a new one, but have you heard the one where I whacked out my vagus nerve and couldn't eat cardamom? Yes, I do know that's oddly specific, but sometimes that's just how it goes. So I've had problems with vertigo in the past, and there's a video on that. You can go back and look at that video. But the last time in New Jersey where I really did myself in was with issues with my vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve is the wandering nerve. So it does kind of go like right through here, but then it also goes like through the lungs, through the heart, through the digestive system. And so digestive issues will play a part in this. But for me, back, I don't even remember when I did it, but I tore this up a lot and just kind of got like inflammation in this area. So making my vagus nerve very sensitive. Compounded with gymnastics, like not having a cervical curve, falling on my head a lot, I have cranial nerve issues, we'll say. And so I've been going to, the cervical chiropractor, and it's been wonders for me. But I was on the phone and pause. Let's see. I have come into really checking in with God on what it is He needs for me for the day. So it's kind of this conversation. Every morning I'm waking up and I'm praying, and really, it comes down to really following each step that I feel He's calling me to. And it could be as simple as supplementation for the day. How can I help my family, friends? Like, do I need to reach out to these people, praying for certain people? Stuff I need to do in the church, stuff I don't need to do in the church. It comes down to pretty specific things that I'm always constantly checking in with. So that's what leads me to this story. I'm on the phone with my girl Krista, and she sends me this Instagram post from, oh my goodness, a wonderful like Instagram person. It's Dr. Detox or something. I love her. But she was giving an instructional video on how to massage like the SCM. I'm not going to say it right. I'm not even going to try. Sternocleidomastoid something or other. Anyways, this little muscle you could see that like is pretty tight on me, along with the scalenes, which is the front neck. Because again, cervical curve, not there. Jaw, I have clicking constantly, no major pains, but I know that these muscles are tight. So she sends it to me. I don't ask the big man. I'm like, this is a great idea. I start just, massaging deeply into that, what the instructional video says. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm talking on the phone. I'm not really thinking. I'm just maybe 5 to 10 seconds. Nothing bad. But I got in there pretty good. Well, I go to sleep, not really thinking anything of it. I wake up, and this has happened to me before, and I probably slept on my left side, and the inflammation of that massage and compounding with laying flat and laying on that left side nerve, I woke up with the spins. Not horrible, like I wasn't super spinny. So I actually, whacked out my optic nerve as well. So it was as if like my vision went a little too medial. Like it was like, not that I was cross-eyed, but everything went from like looking straight to looking straightly in. So it just wasn't feeling right. And I'm like, oh, what the heck? And then, I do what I can do to kind of get myself stabilized. I started, doing a little bit of eye movement, which helped. And I went into prayer and was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot I did that. And, God and I, we kind of have jokes on jokes on jokes. And he's like, I could have told you that would not have been good for you. And this is, something I want to pass on to others. Not everything is for you. And it could be as simple as that. We watch all these things on Instagram, and like, oh, this is great. Like, this diet is fantastic. Oh, it works for everybody. Everybody's losing weight. Ba, ba, ba. Not everything is for you. And that was my lesson for sure with this, is that I don't need to be messing around with them nerves. But if I would have taken the second and thought, no, take that back. If I would have sat and talked to God about it, I would have totally been informed that this was not for me. And that was even a bigger lesson. It's like, he cares about everything. He cares about all the little silly little things. And when it comes to weaknesses, like, this is my weakness. This is one of my vulnerabilities. This is where I'm easily, going off and getting attacked, and cranial nerves. It's my thing that I'm trying to, work through. It's even more important to check in and see if something like that is right for me. So, boom, I take responsibility for not checking in on it. So I went to my chiropractor. Well, first I took some anti-inflammatory. So I prayed about it and was like, okay, I've got turmeric. Turmeric was testing well for me. So I was taking some turmeric for some anti-inflammatory, put some arnica cream on it, and some like menthol, and called it a day. Knew this was a physical issue, wasn't like an emotional component to it, except for not following what I was supposed to do. And I knew that physical needed physical. So I did go to my chiropractor. So I believe this was, a day off. It was only like a month ago. And I was going to go to the chiropractor, and then I was going to get donuts for my family, because we love Peachey's Donuts in Sarasota here. So I go to my doc, and I'm like, I screwed myself up. Help me. And they do, and they're great, and I love them. Lavender Chiropractic. See, I'm like name dropping all the names here, but living in Sarasota, it has helped me tremendously with the vertigo. So I go in there, say, oh, help me, I screwed myself up, didn't pray on it, didn't, test it, didn't do anything, and it was whacked out. So they helped me. They did a little adjustment, and when you do the cranial nerves, but when you're doing a cervical chiropractor, most of them will have you sit in a dark room, pretty inclined to rest and have it really set, because it's very simple. It's just a little boop, and you don't even know they're doing anything. And then you're sitting for like 20 minutes. So I get my adjustment. I go sit into this dark room, and I could tell it's working, because like I'm looking up at the ceilings and all the, there's those drop ceilings. So you see all the lines in it, and the lines are like woo, woo, woo. So I sit there and I do my, eye exercises, where I'm like following my eye or whatever, and it settles. Everything starts to settle. Then I start, tearing up, praying. Things are releasing. So I'm a big crier. I think I've always been a big crier. When I've come into this world of like really connecting with God in prayer, I cry even more. But I used to cry like out of frustration and control, to where it's like, oh, no one's seeing me eye to eye, or I'm not seeing eye to eye with somebody, or I really want this to happen and it's not. And I would get frustrated. And now when I cry, it is when I feel love from him. And instead of crying over being frustrated with someone, like getting so frustrated, now I cry because I feel like God gives me a glimpse of how much he loves that other person. And so my heart is really just crying because of overwhelm of love. So I'm in this chair in the dark, crying like a little baby. And then I start to pray and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I didn't like check in to see if this was good or bad or indifferent. And I regret it and I'm sorry. And, we pieced it out. But then I was like, okay, what can I do besides the turmeric, besides the topical? Like, is there something that I need to check with my diet? And I was getting like, no, it's not really what you're eating. It is really just up here. And I'm like, okay. And then I got Indian food. I'm like, Indian food. Okay, that's interesting. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I took turmeric. Is it the turmeric? And he's like, no, I told you to take turmeric. It's not the turmeric. And then I got the word, plain as day, cardamom. And I'm like, cardamom. All right, God, what do you want with the cardamom? What's with the cardamom? Is cardamom good for me? No. Is cardamom bad for me? No, not really. What's with the cardamom? Don't eat cardamom today. And I'm like, don't eat cardamom. Okay, I could totally do that. I'm not a big fan of cardamom. I think it's like a scary spice. Well, not really scary. It's intriguing, I'll say. So I said, okay, deal. Won't be eating the cardamom. Gotcha. Fine. Easy task, I thought. And so I, pulled it together and I was, just being very grateful that this was turning around and done at the chiropractor's gone. Let's go to get the donuts. So the donut place that I go to, I don't do donuts very often. Oh, and I did ask. I'm like, God, can I have a donut? And he's like, yeah, sure. And so I was like, great, gonna have a donut. And so I go to this donut place, and they're these, I don't know, like, I don't know what they're about, but like, there's some sort of Christian. I mean, when you eat the donuts, you feel like you're eating like angel pillows or something. So it's God's work. It's God's work. But they like make them fresh. I didn't know I'd talk so much about I am fasting right now, so maybe that's why I'm talking about donuts. I'm doing a water fast. It's the first time. So talking about donuts. Well, anyways, they make them fresh for you, and then they hang them up. And then they put the glaze on it, and it's dripping. And they only make one kind. They only make plain glazed donuts, and they're the big as your head, $5, whatever. But sometimes they make specialty donuts, chocolate, maple or whatever. But you get the one plain or you get the one special of the day. I think you might know where I'm going with this because I go up and I say, all right, what's your special donut today? Cardamom. I kid you not, the girl said, our special donut is cardamom. I laughed and giggled like a little schoolgirl, and she thought I was insane. And I said, oh, that's hilarious. Thank you, God. I said, I won't be having the cardamom donut. And I got some plain donuts and got the heck out of there. So, yeah. I don't think that was random. I don't think that was anything other than a little God wink telling me, this is what I'm asking you to do. It's not going to be hard. But if you follow every little step, you're going to be fine. And it's all a matter of listening deeply and following, not our minds, not our thoughts, not our ideas, but letting that kind of die off and letting that kind of subside so we can get deeper into what it is we really are supposed to be doing here on this earth. Because we don't got a lot of time. We're not here for a lot of, tasks. And I don't think we're all here for huge tasks. I don't think we're all here for, monumental, world-changing tasks. But I do believe that sometimes we're here just for those little ripples. And I can't help my neighbor. I can't help my bestie. I can't help my, clients if I'm not hearing what my task is. And if I start to think about with my own thoughts in mind and, things that I am moving towards in my own flesh, then it's definitely not. It's not going to be right. So God's not a micromanager. It's not that he wants me to follow every little thing because he's a micromanager. It's more of just like he kind of said, I could have told you that would have hurt. I could have told you that wasn't right, and you were not going to be happy. Like he did with the Pilates. He told me, he said, stop teaching Pilates. You're not going to be happy there. And when I had the explosion in Pilates, that's all I kept saying. Oh gosh, I am not happy. I am not happy. He could have told me if I listened. So, cardamom. I can eat it now, but I just couldn't eat it then. Couldn't have it on a donut. Told him, thank you very much. So that is my story about vagus nerve and cardamom. And thank you very much.